Welcome to the World Hash News. Mr. H is the Chief Ambassador of HyperNations. His background is in marketing, fintech, and business growth. He is on a mission to promote HyperNation alongside other like-minded individuals with the vision to advocate justice, fairness, and openness, which fully embodies the decentralization of finance and solves the economic power controlled by the powerful centralized banks and financial institutions. We welcome Mr. H to our studios. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It is an absolute honor to be invited to speak here today.
So, to start, can you please give a brief introduction about HyperNations and what it does?
HyperNation was created to address the unfairness in the current financial landscape, where centralized banks and world governments have all too often led communities down into economic turmoil and recessions. Be it the Great Recession of 1932, the financial crisis in 2008, or the current crisis we are facing after the impact of COVID-19. All of them are caused by poor policies, mismanagement, and in some cases, manipulation by these centralized financial bodies. Consequently, it is the common man who has to suffer. If we examine our current financial landscape, although we all seem to put in an equal amount of effort, some people can easily gain power and wealth, while others are destined to fail simply because of their mediocre backgrounds. This seems to be the case in both socialistic and capitalistic countries. Failing does not mean that you are inferior to anyone, but that the rules of society dictate a very unfavorable outcome for you. So, coming back to your question about HyperNation's purpose, we strive to create a democratized economic system where the distribution of resources is fair, equitable, and decentralized. We desire fairness and justice, so we need a new systematic financial system. We want openness and transparency, so we adopt the decentralization of blockchain as a foundation. We want to upend the monopoly of the ruling minority, so we use the concept of economic consensus to reinvent new rules, where those who contribute more can get what they rightfully deserve. HyperNation will be an equal, fair, and transparent platform that can solve the pain points of today's society.
Amazing. So, in this democratic financial ecosystem of HyperNation, how do you achieve the objectives you've mentioned?
Well, first of all, HyperNation firmly believes that blockchain technology can achieve the principles of fairness, justice, and transparency that form the basis of human rights. And HyperNation has a lofty goal: to use blockchain technology to achieve total transparency with systematic and unbiased operations. A blockchain network is a distributed system that realizes the concept of trustlessness in peer-to-peer transactions and dealings. Best of all, the network is not managed by a single centralized server, but can be controlled by individual participants through their laptops or mobile phones. Consensus is of utmost importance in our current society, where the playing field has become controlled by a few powerful individuals, and what we need is a fairer solution. Blockchain's consensus mechanism is essential to eradicate the current flaws that are plaguing our society. With this consensus mechanism in place, HyperNation allows all of its community to have a say in governance, rather than giving power only to a few selected individuals. The protocol rules embedded in the blockchain consensus mechanism ensure that only valid and real transactions can be recorded in the public and transparent ledger, while the protocol rules embedded in the network ensure that the state of the public ledger is always updated only if the community is in consensus. HyperNation will carefully implement a consensus mechanism in its attempt to achieve true decentralization, where everyone can receive a fair reward based on their contributions. No one else can dictate what you rightfully deserve. Every transaction will be recorded on the blockchain. This means that no one can deny you of the fruits of your labor, since the proof is right there on chain.
Excellent. So, aside from the consensus mechanism, how is the ecosystem going to work?
Well, HyperNation is striving to create a completely decentralized ecosystem with blockchain technology at its core. It will feature a utopian government-based metaverse, where users will be able to participate and perform financial activities without restrictions. To become a citizen of this world, or to join the HyperNation ecosystem, a user is required to get an exclusive NFT, which is a cryptographically secured token that is non-fungible and unique to the user. In other words, the NFT is kind of like an ID card for you in HyperNation. Owning this NFT allows you to travel freely within HyperNation. Traveling in the real world may be a hassle at times, with immigration requirements, visas, and travel restrictions. However, this is different in the metaverse. This NFT is a passport towards borders unknown, and its future value is still being developed upon.
Right, so HyperNation is a utopia metaverse with its own financial ecosystem. So my question is that in this economy or community, what are the responsibilities of the inhabitants?
Excellent question. Much like in every community, the inhabitants of HyperNation have some responsibilities to fulfill. In this land, every citizen can reach any country at will without going through tedious custom processes as in real life. An NFT would serve as your ID card, and the metaverse is where we will construct a new nation. So, what will citizens have to do to prove themselves? The answer is simple: share. As we have said before, a consensus is the most important part of building a new nation, just like how marketing is the most important part of branding. As a citizen of HyperNation, you will witness the development and growth of the nation, making it so that you can be the best spokesman for us. HyperNation will create a perfect country for everyone. Meanwhile, your duty is to promote the beauty of this land and invite more people to reside in our perfect utopia. It is now time to turn your dreams into reality.
Amazing. So, as these citizens have some responsibilities, do they also get rewarded for it?
Of course, in HyperNation, all users are incentivized for their participation within the ecosystem. They can participate in staking, GameFi, and other activities within the metaverse to earn rewards. Our Hyper NFT would serve as the entry pass to the metaverse. We are preparing a complete model for this, which will be made available on our website soon.
Wonderful, sir. This sounds very promising, and I must confess that I am very much looking forward to the project. Talking of which, may I know, how can the users access the HyperNation ecosystem?
It's simple. All they have to do is head straight to www.hypernation.io to register for the whitelist.
Thanks a lot, sir, for giving us your valuable time. I look forward to your project and wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you too, and a huge thanks to you and your wonderful audience. Have a good day ahead.